Good afternoon and welcome to another Monday. Get myself comfortable on a chair. My name is Anita Mazzero and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Horsham, Victoria, Australia. Got to say that just to remind people because we're not UK. So I'm just going to make sure that I can be seen on my page because otherwise I can't talk to you. So just get it up on my iPad as well because, I don't know if the comments will come through or not at the moment. So anyway, we're live. So it's another Monday, halfway through June. It's going so fast. So I don't know what anyone has been up to this weekend. Hi, Jacinta, lunch break or a day off? Yes, I don't know what anyone else has been up to. It was a cold start this morning. Sunshine's out at the moment and it's beautiful in the sun, cold in the wind. So it is lovely at the moment. Hello, Sharon. How are you today? Looks like they're all working beautifully on my computer again. Whoopee! That is so good. It's been awful not having them up on the screen. I found it frustrating. But now that I can see them, it is brilliant. So we've had a great week last week with Stampin' Up. Free shipping. Who took advantage of free shipping? Why not? Great chance to stock up on stuff when you don't have to pay for the shipping. It can save you some money. It's well worth it. And we are a couple of weeks away before we get our July online exclusives available. And when they come out, we will have scissors available. They're not going to be called snips. They are called detailed scissors. So I'll flip the camera down and we'll just have a quick chat about the scissors because I think it's important that we can compare likes. And I think that there's nothing different. So we'll pop the camera down and we will have a look. Just one moment. This is the tricky part, always the tricky part. And there we go. Right. I must be getting better at it. It seems to flow a lot easier. I've used to try stretching it out from one place to another. You're on lunch break, Jacinta, but you're actually working while working. Oh, that's a good one. So as I said, these are our snips. These pair have lost the little sheath that goes over it. So comes packaged exactly the same as they were packaged before. The label on the sheath says Stampin' Up, as it had before, with a little warning, little fingers, because they're sharp. So when I put them side by side, there's to me, there's very little difference. The biggest difference I probably notice, it's sharper at the top than these pair. So I don't know if I bring them up, you might be able to see what I'm talking about. So see how the one on the left is a bit more rounded than the one on the right? So the one on the right is our new pairs of detailed snips. So that means they're going to be easy to cut into fine, delicate places. So, I think it's great that they've come back because sadly the company that made these closed down. So they will be available in July. So don't miss out on that at all. Hello, Cherry. How are you today? So I'm really thrilled because these, I reckon, I bought my first 3 or 4 pairs probably 15 years ago. And these definitely had it. They have been used by someone who should not have used it. These will be hidden. There's no way he's going to touch them. He's learned his lesson. So I'm absolutely thrilled about these and looking forward to be able to use them and have a nice sharp pair, because that's my biggest problem, not having a sharp pair. So, of course, everything in our catalogue is still available, so don't forget that. If anyone is interested, you still have time to join the Scenic Coast class. If you haven't ordered the products, unfortunately the dies are unavailable, so you can't buy the bundle, but the paper is available. But it's well worth joining up and watching. $53. This will be my third class. What I like about it, we hear from the concept artists about how it's. You haven't tried your new scissors yet. Yeah, well, as I said, I haven't either, but I've kept them separate so that I don't get them confused later on. So that's why I haven't tried them. I know I saw someone cut ribbon with it, and they were very impressed with the way they cut the ribbon. And I think it was Patty Bennett. So that says a lot. So as I was saying, this paper, when you do these classes with Stampin' Up, you learn so much. You learn the concept artist's ideas. You learn different techniques about putting a card together. So therefore, we're little snippets of 4 cards, and they will be lots of fun to work with, which I hope to do and show you guys. Hi, Glenda, how are you? So think about it. It's on Friday at 6 a.m, but there will be replays, so don't think you've got to get up at 6 a.m. and watch it. Me, I'll probably be up because I'm usually up at around that time, freezing my little, what off. But yeah, I'll be up and we'll watch that. Then we were talking about the July online products. I can only show you this. You've seen the scissors. These 2 are sweets, and then there's a Halloween sweet. I don't know about anybody in Australia, but I don't think anyone in Australia does Halloween. So it's got no concern to me. But if I just reach for it, the only thing, so I didn't buy much in the pre-order because I wanted to wait. So I'll just get this open. I think I'll probably get this set's sweet because I do like it. The thing I liked in the pre-order in the Halloween set was this beautiful black shimmer ribbon. I think that's what they call it. But it's got this beautiful shimmer. And I like using black twine. So I think black ribbon is something that we can all get to use. And it feels beautiful. I'll just check to see how it is for tying, because sometimes ribbons are a bit stiff. This is a little bit stiffer than what I've had before, but very easy for tying. Sits beautifully. Look at that. So you can see, I hope you can see that shimmer. Really, yeah, you can see it there. Look at that. So as I said, for me, that was the big bonus in the Halloween suite, because I'm not into Halloween. It does nothing for me. So great to get a nice ribbon. I'll pop that aside because I don't need that. We'll pop these aside. But today I'm going to talk about our product of the month. I love this suite. When I saw that we were going to get this, it was immediately number 1 on my list. So for any of you who are thinking about it and you like this, you can't just buy it. You need to pop onto my online store, spend $125 in your normal products, and then you will find when you're ordering, there's a bar that moves across letting you know that you're close to your $125, and then it will say shop now, and you can shop for this for $9. I checked just before I came on. They are still available. But I will be honest, I don't think these will see the end of the month. They are extremely popular. And look, they're easy to tie, to fussy cut. It's a great, great little set. I've had a wonderful time playing over the weekend. It's just a great set. So I hope you will like it as much as I do. I'm in love with it. And I love cute little critters. I don't know if anybody else, but yeah, I'm in love with that. So I will... And I've just got to work out where I put my stuff. Oh, here it is. Gosh almighty. I nearly did a panic then. Oh, the old heart went flutter, flutter, flutter. So I'm going to have a little play. I've got a piece of this paper and just went through my paper because I'm going to be using the koala. I want to use the koala because the koala is so, so sweet. And the thing is, I wanted to make a gum tree. We in Australia have koalas everywhere. And so they are lovely. And I'll tell you what, if you've ever had one in your backyard in the middle of the night during mating season, it will scare the bejeebers out of you. The screech is unbelievable. But they're still cute. They are just so cute. So this was where I went. So first thing I looked at it was the koala. There are some other ones that came to my mind, which I'll show you afterwards. And I thought, let's make it very, well, as best as I could to make it very Australiana. So I've got some scrap paper here, so I'm just going to move this out of the way. Didn't want that. So I'm just going to get my paper. I've got my, actually I should show you the set. Showed you the set. So we've got a Scottish Highland cow. Hi Kerry, how are you today? Good to see you. We've got a snail. We've got the koala, the penguin. We've got this little bush with a couple of little flowers on it. We've got this checkered whatever. Can use it whatever. Got party hats, presents, happy birthday. Thank you for all you do. Isn't that a lovely saying, that one? Because sometimes there are some people, hello Fiona, welcome. Hello Vicky, how are you? Welcome. Are you off work today? So you got hi friend, sending love, just a little note, and a little heart. Because, got to have a heart somewhere, especially with sending love. So it's a great little set. So I'm going to use some Memento, and I'll stamp 2 of our beautiful little koalas. Now, if anyone's watching on my... Oh, just a late lunch. Okay, Vicky. If anyone does watch the replays and you're not from Australia, there's a bit of a joke about people talking about drop bears. And I clean that. That did not do what I want to do. Look at that mark coming in the middle of it. Don't want that mark. So quite often people talk about drop bears. And so the koalas are what they are. And hello, Myrtle, welcome. Good to see you. So, yes, so people get teased, especially the Americans. People will say we've got drop bears, but these are our drop bears. So I'll just pop that on there and give that a good clean. So I'm just going to let this dry. I might just poke my heat tool on it. And the reason for that is because I'm going to be colouring with pencils. Hello, Melanie. Welcome. Oh, 4:45 a.m. in the UK. Are you an early riser like me? Sounds like it. Something I would do at that time of the morning. Okay, so we're just going to just make sure it's a little bit dry. And if you want to know why I know, when I first started, I coloured too quick. Just making sure that that ink is nice and dry. Okay, take that away and we will colour. Now I'm going to use our watercolour pencils. And they come in 2 packs, and the 2 packs are, the first pack has 13 colours in it. I've got to read it from my little thing. Black, we have basic black, put my teeth back in, basic grey, a white, a blue, no Pacific blue, but just called a blue, Calypso coral, daffodil delight, early espresso, fresh freesia, melon mambo, old olive, pecan pie, pumpkin pie, and real red. Now that's just the one. Only summer. I'm like a dormouse. I don't like getting up. You sound like my husband, Melanie. Okay, so there, as you can see, I've got both packs. So that's one of the packs. So as I said, 13 for $32. Great if you're starting out to have some colours, because this will give you an idea of colours. The Watercolour Pencils pack number 2 has Balmy Blue, Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler, Coastal Cabana, Crushed Curry, Flirty Flamingo, Garden Green, Gorgeous Grape, Granny Apple Green, and Night of Navy. So there's 10 in that lot. So all up is 23 colours. So the 10 are $25. Pack of 13 is $32. And then we have our blender pens, so we can blend our colours. We can colour straight without blending, but I will show you what I find, for me, personally works. So these come in a pack of 3 for $27. So they're a great little tool to have. So, got my little koalas here, so they should be nice and dry. So I'm going to use the basic grey. Just going to put some colour and be a little bit heavy. I like a little bit of a flat end on it. And I'm just putting some colour around the side and again down this side. Don't need a lot. So it's just a little bit dark, so I'm just going over it until I get it right. Good afternoon, Wendy. How are you? I'm glad I'm making your afternoon. I hope Boris is behaving himself. So then I'm lightly going to put some colour in the top of the ear. Just very gently colouring. Then I'm going to put some dark just under the chin. And then some dark. When I say dark, I mean I'm just putting a little bit of extra pressure on my pen. And this is the thing with the pencil. You can go as light as you wish or as dark. So I'll hold that up so you can see. Just check that you can see that I've got it. So you can see all I've done is just put some colour down like that. So I'll do the other one exactly the same. Just come down with just going over it to create that look. And of course, when we're colouring, whether it be watercolour, whether it be blends. Oh, he's sleeping. Oh, that's good for you, Wendy. I'm pleased. Whether it's watercolour pencils, watercolour ink, or whatever, you will notice that no two will be really exactly alike. And that's because it is unique. So I'm just going to pop in around here. So I've just got a bit of colour on the koalas. So then I'm going to take some Melon Mambo, which is a deep pink, but I wanted that pink in the ears. I didn't want it light. So I'm just going to put some colour just in here. Doesn't have to be over heavy. Just give the ears a little bit of colour. Who likes using colouring pencils? Are you a blends, an ink watercolour, or pencils? I must admit I have only recently gone back to using watercolour pencils. When I first started many years ago, that's what I used a lot of. But now I'm back using the pencils because this set means to me the pencils. I've got basic black here, so I'm just going to apply a bit of colour in here. You'll see what I'm doing. Who likes this Wild Bunch set? Okay, so you can see, if I bring this up, you can see my little bears, and you can see on the noses where I've coloured. So this is where the blender pen comes in handy. So my blender pen has a bit of a black mark on it. So I've got a scrap of white here, and I'm just going to show you that there's no colour whatsoever. The other end also has a bit, and there's no colour whatsoever. It will stain the nib, but as long as you wipe it after use, it will be fine. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do the pink first so that there's no residue. So as you can see, I'm just in circular motion, just putting some pink out on the ears. There's his cute little ears. So as you can see, I'm wiping the colour, rotating the pen, getting the colour out. Now I'm going to go to the grey. So I'll start with his ears, just blending that colour very carefully. Do these two. Do the same process for both. And then I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to sort of drag the colour across. Just bringing the colour. Now, as you can see by what I'm doing, this has created quite a bit of colour. And you will have seen there was not a lot of colour on there. So if I bring this up, you can see what I'm talking about. Very little colour around it, but yet it gave it a nice soft grey look. So I'll continue on this one. So I'm dragging that dark colour down, because that's, and then I'm going to come up to meet it with the colour from the little bit that I've put down. I'm leaving this part here white because koalas have a white chest. So there we go. So you can see how it's given that little bit of white chest. Might just put a little bit of, take that little bit of grey off the bottom there, in there. Just nice and soft. Because this, oh, you love this set. Oh, I don't know about you, Melanie, whether you heard me before, but as soon as I saw it, it was like, I got to have it. And I think it's because it's just such a, it's cute, but not cute. If, you know, you get some that are cute little critters and they're okay, but sometimes you just want something that's just so nice. And this is something I think we can use for anything. So I'll finish this off. A little bit of colour down here. Okay. So there's my two koalas. Just take off any of the grey that might be on there. And when you don't use a lot of colour, you can always go back in and add a little bit more colour. And you can see these two are very slightly different because one's a little bit darker. And that is because I've probably gone a little bit darker on one side. So maybe if I bring it up a bit closer so you can see how one is a little, just a smidgen darker than the other. So now we will just do the nose. So we'll just go on the black nose. Let's do his black noses. And so as you can see, all those little colour lines, they've disappeared. And I just did a little fraction mark up there. But anyway, that doesn't matter. So I'll clean that off. And that's ready to go. And I always I keep mine in one of our old stamp cases. I think you can still get these. I didn't check. Yes, I agree with you, Jacinta. Just to have that Aussie touch, we've never been so lucky to have it before. Right. So as you can see, it's really, really sweet. Now, as you know, when the new catalogue came out, we got white gel pens. And this is so good for this. So I'm just going to put a little dot of white where the eyes are and just a bit of a shadow of white where and a little bit on the nose. So to me, that has created a white look on the nose. The eyes are given a bit more realistic benefit. So I'll just pop that out of the way. And now we'll fussy cut them. So, and they're very easy to fussy cut. They won't take long at all. I mean, I did have some made. I've got a few made because sitting in front of the telly, I can sit and colour and fussy cut. So I've got a few sitting there. That's all right. I've got plenty of ideas in my mind of what I want to do. So we just get that. I'm not as fast as Emma Goddard when she fussy cuts. I'm a little bit slow. And I'm trying to chat to you at the same time. With his claws, just going in and out, just to create the claw look. Just around. We'll come around. And get that. There we go. So I nearly got one done. How simple was that? As you can see, very, very simple to cut out. Okay, there's one. Let's get the other out. Very happy with the way he's turned out. As I said, no two work out exactly the same. That doesn't matter because if we saw two koalas, hello, Miss Jade, how are you, darling? Hope you're feeling better. Okay. You have little ears. Just fussy cut around. These little claws are, they've really, whoever designed this set really did pick up the claws, even the curvature of some of the claws that a koala has. So that's, for us Aussies, it's good that we've got that. Oh, good, darling. I'll give you a call afterwards. So round we go. Nearly finished this one. And there's our two koalas. So that's really looking good. So then I got an old set, if those of you who remember the citrus blooms, and they had all sorts of nice dies. So I wanted a leaf, and the citrus blooms had the leaf that I wanted. but it also had this frame. And I thought, oh, perfect, I'll use that frame and I'll use these leaves, because even though it was designed as a Mediterranean look, I thought the eucalyptus leaves sort of looked a bit like that. So don't forget to look at your old sets to see if you want something for a particular design. Right, I'm going to get my pad and I've picked up some colours. I've put in my colours that I've chosen today: Pretty Peacock, Old Olive, Balmy Blue and Darling Duckling. Now, the Pretty Peacock I'm going to use for my leaves, which I'll get out in a moment. But for the background of this particular thing, I wanted to use Old Olive, Balmy Blue and Darling Duckling. So, grab my blending brushes and I'm going to start with the lightest colour, which is the Darling Duckling. Ink up my brush and create some colour. I wanted to create that. Oops, that's not what I wanted, but I can hide that. I hate that when that happens. Okay, so I've got that look along there. And I've just realised I've gone the wrong way. Okay. You know what we'll do? We're going to cut another one out. I am so sorry about that. I should have had blue first. And the yellow was supposed to be in the middle. I think if I put blue over yellow, we're going to have green, and that's not going to work. Ooh, hang on. It might work. If not, we'll cut it out. I never thought to have a spare just in case I did something wrong. Oh, well. Let's see if we can. Actually, when I think about it, this probably starts to look a bit more like an Australian summer. Oh, I can resurrect it. Look at that. How good is that? There we go. Maybe a bit yellowy, but that doesn't matter. We can survive it. Serendipitous moment, hey? Have anyone else ever done that before? Where they've picked up the wrong colour? Okay, let's get back with the yellow again. And that's to go in the middle. And again, I've got a blob and a blob. I have no idea. I don't like the blob, so I'm going to start again. That looks terrible. Right. Just go and grab a sheet of white. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen when you're doing it live, doesn't it? So, move that out of the way. Get rid of that. So I'll just cut this in corners. And cut it out. Grab our citrus blooms. And grab this. Now I'm going to apologise to you all now, because if it bounces around, I am so sorry. So for this we'll need plate number 1, plate number 2, and both of our clear plates. So this may or may not bounce around. I will be keeping my fingers crossed that it doesn't. And we'll just pop that there. And cut our shape out. Well, how many people have done that, made a mistake, and then realised you've done it wrong? Clunk, clunk. Clunks are normal, so don't think anything about it. Right. Take two. We'll just pop that away so I don't lose it. Get rid of these. And this. Okay. Grab this again and start again. So, yellow in the middle, not, and please don't go silly on me this time. All right, that's the new one, right side up. This is why I didn't use the other side, because if I bring this closer, you will see there's a difference in the way that it cuts out. So I wanted to keep it the right side up. So, right, so in the middle, add my colour. I'm not going to press too heavy this time, because I just don't want those horrible marks on there. Just getting the yellow. And of course one little spot had to do it, didn't it? And another, of course. It's all right, I'll fix that up. I've got my yellow there in the middle. Then I'll take the balmy blue. And just put some sky in there. Oh, this is going to drive me nuts. I'll find a way to cover that. It's an embellishment spot, isn't it? Okay, so I've got the blue there. Both the blue and yellow have gone much darker on the edging than where I've wanted it to go. So now I will go with the old olive. No more blotches, please. Well, that worked better. Hooray. Pull those aside. All done. Not the way I wanted it to go, but anyway, not to worry. So in here, I have got a whole series of leaves, plus a few other things that I don't need. They were from when I was working on the other cards. All right. So I've got some leaves. So I'm going to use the sponge dauber for these. And I'm just going to find I'm pretty sure I had, yeah, Pretty Peacock. Got my little sponge daubers all marked. So all I want to do, because these leaves are fragile, I'm just going to add, just pounce and add a little bit of colour to the edges. I don't know how many I'm going to need, so just do a few of all the different sizes. Create the colour and get that look going. Probably should have done some of these beforehand, so I apologise for not doing that. Could have left one or two behind. Get some leaves. I won't do all of them because I want to use some natural. A couple more of these. There we go, just giving it some colour. All right, I'll stop at that. If I need more, I can get more. Now, I went looking for a tree trunk and I couldn't find a tree trunk. So as I said, I found this paper, this DSP. I can't tell you where it was from, but I found it. So I thought, I'll cut the trunk, make my own trunk. So we're just going to come in and just shape the tree. Eucalyptus and gums have a bit of a wobble, you know. So I'm just going to take that and come out a bit. And then do the same on this side. Probably not go in as much as I did just then. So create the tree look. So it doesn't have to be perfect, because we're going to hide a lot of it. So I'll just cut that. So there's my ghost gum trunk. See that? Look, I've already covered up some of the bad blobs on there. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of that. So I really wanted to give this set this very Aussie feel. And going to pop that out there. So with my leaves, I'm going to just pop them on there. Some going down, some going across. Just creating a tree with its leaves. Because we've put a bit of, I might throw in a light one at the back here. Pop another one like so. And I might pop another little light one just in here. I'm trying to get a feel for where I want them. So there's sort of a gum tree look. So I'm going to get some little leaves. So I'm just going to pick these two up and flip them over. And because the leaves are difficult to put dimensionals on, by flipping it over I can see where I can poke a dimensional and they're going to hold together. So we're just going to keep doing that with the leaves. So get a few organised so that they're stuck together and create the look. Just pop it in place. Oops. Pop that there. Pop one there. I did look at using glue, and I'll tell you what, that did not work. Plus I'd already had this on dimensionals. Okay, so I'll leave those for now. And we'll pop couple of these in place. I'm going to pop that like so, where the dimensionals are actually up against the bark. Don't you hate that when it flips over? Pop another one. This one will sit on top of it here to create a look. Oops, the other one fell off, so I'll just put this one in place down here. And I can see where this one needs to go. So there's the gums coming off the tree. I'm going to grab my glue because we want to add dimension and shape in the into the back of it. Just pop a little bit there. Another little one there, which I might just pop down here. I'm only putting a touch of glue on these. Just pop it in there. It creates a full look. These two, I think we can pop together like so. Pop a dimensional in each of these. Oops, they don't fall on there. Okay, I want you to sit there and this one to sit just on top. So by layering it and overlaying it, the stems don't really matter. They will all just fit into each other quite easily. So I'll grab a couple more, and I'm going to glue these simply because they're going to go on top of my tree trunk, my crazy tree trunk. Pop that in there. And then I'll just want one lighter one which will just sit over the top. So I'm going to cut the end of this one and just put a bit of glue to hold it in place. And that will hide. And being a bit lighter won't matter because gum trees with the sun. So there you can see there's my weird and wonderful gum tree. So I want down the bottom some grass. So we've used old olive, and so I've just got my blender pen and I'm just going to mark some grass around the base of the tree. Some can be a bit longer than others. I'm just popping, and I'm putting some down below as well so that it... Just popping some grass in here. Along there. So that that looks like it all belongs to it. And then I'll just put some random grass patches. So just a bit of random grass, just so it's there. Because why not? I feel like I'm sliding off my chair all the time. So I've got a piece of crumb cake, 21 centimetres by 14.9, scored at 10.5. So I'm going to fold that in half and I'll burnish the score line. So I'm going to take this leafy design and some Versamark. So I'm just going to randomly stamp some of this around the card. So making sure the top and bottom are both going inwards. And then we'll just do some on the outside. Just give it I probably shouldn't have my mat under there, but not to worry. Pop some in here. And I think that'll do. I don't want to overdo it. So this is then going to sit just like so on dimensionals to give that look. Now this is quite thick here, and I find sometimes when we're posting, if we have too many layers of thickness, it does create some problems. So just going to use some here, top and bottom, and then I'm just feeling where the thickness is, where I would need it, just to make sure that it's even. So I'll put that there, and then another one there. Okay, so this area here where I've got dimensionals upon dimensionals, I have not worried too much about it, because we all know that when we start bulking up our cards, it also bulks up the price. So if we can make it appear that it's all bulky, and we can take, and it's still going to look okay, why not? So we're going to pop that. Whew, I didn't put any glue underneath, and guess what? It landed nicely. I'm going to take a little bit of the Peaceful Pine and just add a little bit of the Peaceful Pine down the middle, just because at the same time this is going to give a little bit of glisten. I will be using some wink as well, but I just wanted a bit of glitter to the leaves. So now I'm going to take my two beautiful koalas. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bobblehead. And what I found, I'm going to trim the neck off one. And I want to place him right on top of this one. Grab the bobblehead. Take the backing off, which is a lot of fun. They don't make it easy to get them, but they give us a lot of fun. So I'm going to pop that in the middle, because bobbleheads are fun. And if we can have some fun with the cards that we're making for the recipients, why not? So I've taken the backing off, and holding it together, I'm going to make sure I've got it marked correctly so it's completely together. And that moved. Oh dear. Let's see if that lifts. Yes. Oh. It's doesn't matter. It's a little bit off, but so when he moves, he's going to have that in the background. So it's just going to give it a bit more of an effect. So I want to put him sitting in here, just poking his nose out of the tree. So he's going to go flat because there's enough in the wobbler to create that flatness. I'll take some glue and we're going to take him and pop him just in there. Look at that. So when you see him, there he is with his little wobbler. Right. Now I've got a piece of white. Set these here for a moment because I use some of them on the inside. So I'm going to take the word happy birthday. And I did have it. There it is. So I'm going to get my embossing buddy. Little Annie's still working. And I have to go and get my black. Oh, dear. Talk about not being properly organised today. I thought I was so good that everything was done yesterday. That was probably my problem. I was too far ahead of myself. Okay, so I'm going to ink up with Versamark and stamp the happy birthday. Take my black Wow embossing powder, look, and just put some black on there. There we go, beautiful. Pop that in there, close that up because we don't want a mess. And grab my heat gun. Okay, Jacinta, don't work too hard. Just get the heat onto it. There we go. I think I've got it all. Just give that a moment to settle down and cool off because you can smudge it without even trying. So while that's cooling, I'm going to do a little bit of work on the inside. So I thought we'd just use a little bit of glue and I'm just going to glue some flowers. Just pop a few flowers, a few of the leaves, just the plain ones. These haven't been coloured, just leave them as they are. So I just want to put a few top and bottom just to create a little bit of a gum tree look inside the card, because let's face it, you'll notice that I have been taking the stems right to the edge of the card so I can trim those stems off. Just pop that over here. There's some leaves. Just grab the snips to trim off. Whoa, that didn't work. Let it dry first, Anita. Okay. Just trim off the edge. And by doing it from the reverse side, you're going to get it nice and even. And again, this way. Move those out of the way. and then we'll just pop some glue on the inside. Just like so. Okay, my happy birthday should be dry. So I'm going to trim this, and I want to break the word up, the word happy birthday up. So just give that, you can use your mini trimmer or your scissors, whatever you feel more comfortable with. And the birthday is going to help cover, well, the blotch. What a serendipitous moment that is. Okay. We'll just get some minis behind these, and that will help cover another mistake. So look, ladies, you're getting to see my mistakes and how to cover them up, which is fabulous. Grab these minis. There. We're nearly there, ladies. Nearly there. Go with the word birthday first, because that's where the biggest part of the smudge can be hidden. We'll just put birthday there. Look at that. And then take the happy and pop that up top. And look at that. No sign of a blotch. We have managed to cover it. Now, of course, good old Wink. Okay, if you're watching the replay, yes, I'm using Wink. Shake it down and pop some Wink on, especially over the leaves, because I want that, and just give the glisten of the Australian sunshine onto the card. And there we go. Have a look at that. So he's got his little head going, got this, enough glitter on it, and then you can open it up. So we've got that Australiania coming through, and this birthday card. Oh, and I haven't put on these cute little butterflies. I love these. These are the in-colour butterflies. They are so, so cute. So I reckon I might use some white ones, because why not? I'll put one there, a couple of big ones, another one just underneath there. I'll grab a couple of little ones and we'll pop one there. Got to have an odd number, don't we? We can't have, you know, they scoot along the grasses, so we put one down in the grasses. And we'll just pop another one just up there, so that's 5. Got to have an uneven number. So there we go, ladies. There's our finished card. So I've got a lot. Like I said, I've been playing with it. So there's the original one that I did, but I had a stamp that had grass, but it just wasn't easy to work, hence why I did this. So as you can see, and I did the bobble as well in exactly the same way. Then we did a birthday card with the snails, just roughed up the edges and added some colour, and I used this like a racetrack. So we did that one. There's another one using the citrus blooms dies, the inner part and the outer part. So I just popped a couple of koalas in there and a couple of the little butterflies. And then we had the Highland cows. use this beautiful paper, pop them in there, and I'll just put little black gems on the ice, but then add a few little white dots to the black gems, and I use the flower, well, the leafy design just to sit behind the cow. When I first saw, sorry, I'm out of view. Sorry about that, I didn't look up. When I first saw this set, this is what spoke to me, the March of the Penguins. In Australia and in Victoria, we have a penguin parade that happens in Phillip Island. So in the summer, at night, you'll sit on the beach at 9 o'clock, 9:30. The fairy penguins just come marching up from the beach. And this is what this spoke to me about. So I've got the little penguins coming up, and they do follow each other. And then the last card I made was this one, which is a birthday card. And this is going to be for my great-grandson's third birthday. And I just loved it where I was able to use all the different characters and create this card. And this is that Velvet Meadow paper, and it's worked beautifully with this particular card. So I hope you've enjoyed that today. So there's the card that we made today. And as I said, adding a little bit of character to the heads, I think, why not? So I hope you've all enjoyed that. It's been something a bit different, and this was what came to my mind, was to create that gum tree look and have something there that you could play with. So this paper really gave that tree a bit of a look. So thank you very much for sticking with me, and I hope you've enjoyed that, and including my bloopers. Thank you, Glenda. Oh, you like them all. Thank you. As I said, I've had a lot of fun playing with them. And as I said, I wanted to give some sort of an Australiana feel with the gum tree. And, you know, not 100% happy with what I've done on the bottom here, but little boy would love this card with the thing, and I think they'll spend more time doing this than anything else, just playing with the little wobbly, because, hey, why not? So thank you. I shall see you all next Monday. My goodness, it'll be here before we even are ready, and we'll find something new to play with. So thank you very much for sticking with me. I'm a little bit over time today, but thank you, and we will catch up next week. Bye for now, everyone.